Animal mutations come in many forms. Sometimes they are genetically accidents or crossbreed hybrids. Other times, these mutants are created by man-made disasters like Chernobyl or toxic waste runoff. Though these discoveries may seem stranger than fiction, these odd animals are real collections of animal mutations from around the world. And for some extra fun, find our mascot Ned hiding throughout the video. See-through frog. Some mutants are a result of genetic anomalies, while others are the fault of humankind, unfortunately. Though nuclear disasters like Chernobyl and Fukushima had led to their fair share of human-caused animal mutations, they are still relatively rare occurrences. The bigger and more consistent threats to our environment are human-produced chemical waste. An American visual artist, biologist, and environmental educator in Louisiana decided to combine all of his skills to shine a light on the problem. Literally. Brandon Ballengée collected deformed frogs from across the world and put them through a process where enzymes were used to make their skin clear and dyes were injected to make the deformity stand out. His exhibit has been displayed in museums from Europe to the United States, not only as an art, but as a reminder of the damage we do to the environment when chemical wastes goes unchecked. Squitten. Some bird mutations are so common, they get nicknamed in a time before people even understood biology, apparently. Squittens are said to have gotten their names because people thought they were the offspring between a squirrel and a kitten. I don't know if I believe the story, but the names and the anatomy do seem to fit. Squittens have a mutation called radial hypoplasia, which stops their front paws from fully developing. In mild cases, the cat can move around utilizing its shorter front paws like a rabbit. In more severe cases, they move entirely on their hind legs and look like squirrels as they stand upright. They can live very full and enjoyable lives. They just look a little bit funny getting around the house. Qinling Panda Bears. Pandas are an adorable and a very interesting group of animals. They have evolved very specifically to survive on a diet only made up of bamboo. Unfortunately, bamboo is extremely hard and not very nutritious, so they have to evolve over millions of years to eat a lot of it. Which is fine if you're 100% panda and you've had time to evolve. But what will happen if you're not 100% panda? Interbreeding between groups can lead to animal mutants in the form of hybrids. And that's what happened with the Qinling bears. They're thought to be a cross between a panda and some sort of brown bear, which is what makes them very unique with brown patches. Unfortunately for them, their diet is exactly the same as a regular panda: bamboo. Being hybrids, they have some major disadvantages. The first being their smaller size leads to a smaller jaw muscle. The biggest problem is that they are in serious need of a dentist. Unfortunately, their teeth are also hybrids and fracture much more easily on all bamboo diet. It's pretty simple: no teeth, no food. Because of this, Qinling pandas' lifespans are an average of 5 to 20 years, versus a panda's whose 15 to 20 years lifespan. Chernobyl's mutant aftermath. The radioactive explosion at Russia's Chernobyl's nuclear power plant in 1986 destroyed the environment and the animals in it for over 100 miles away. Over 30 years later, the animals don't look mutated, but that's mainly because most of the original mutated animals have long since passed. Though they don't look it, this current generation of animals is indeed mutant. Studies have shown that genetic mutation in animals and plants have increased by a factor of 20. You can still see several cases of albinism and other genetic defects, but the animals with extra limbs and other major visible mutations are for the most part gone. White peacock. Peacocks are known for their large, colorful feathers. Part of what makes them so impressive is the way they shine when the sunlight hits them. The shine comes from microscopic crystal-like structures that cover the feathers and reflect different wavelengths of light, depending on how the feathers are spaced. Not only is it a light show, but scientists have found that it's a musical show too. Sort of. The peacock can shake its feathers, creating a low-frequency sound. It attracts mates. So, what do peacocks do if they lose their trademark coloration? Contrary to popular belief, not all peacocks are colorful. There are two types of peacocks that are not albinos. Peacocks with leucism, partial loss of pigmentation or color, are not albinos. They still have blue eyes but have colored skin. If a white male breeds with a white female, all of their chicks will be white. They are a variety of Indian blue peacock that can be seen around Southeast Asia. Albino peacocks, on the other hand, have genetic mutations that causes a complete lack of pigmentation, including pink or red eyes. Kenny, the white tiger. White tigers do not exist in nature. The purpose of a tiger's orange and white coat with black striping is to camouflage when in the bush while hunting. A white-coated tiger will stand out and reduce the pride's ability to hunt successfully and survive. So where do white tigers come from? Though gorgeous, the thing most people don't know about white tigers is that they are a product of generations of inbreeding. All of today's white tigers come from the same original white tigers. They got that way through selective inbreeding over generations to get rid of the orange fur. Kenny represents the in-between steps we never got to see. A breeder decided to create his own white tiger lineage so he could sell them and make a lot of money. To do so, he had to start from scratch by selecting inbreeding tigers. Unfortunately, the outcome was Kenny, who had the desired white coat but also had several physical deformities. It was falsely reported that Kenny had Down syndrome, but the rescue workers at Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge, who took Kenny in along with his cross-eyed brother Willie, said he apparently was mentally normal. The two brothers fortunately got to live out a much happier life together at the rescue. Faith, the miracle dog. Animal parents are extremely loving, but they are also very practical, especially within groups that give birth to multiple babies at a time, like dogs. This is the story of a deformed dog found at a flea market, rescued by a boy from a mother who had stopped feeding her pup. This is the story of how one life, no matter how seemingly disadvantaged, can go on to affect many others for the better. Faith, as she would be called, was taken to the vet who suggested the poor puppy be euthanized due to a brain defect that also didn't let her front legs fully form. Instead, the family decided to have her front legs be amputated and trained Faith to rest by sitting up instead of laying down, which could hurt her chest and her neck over time. What came up next surprised everyone. Because of the balance she learned from doing this, Faith was actually able to teach herself to walk or hop upright like a person. The best part was that after some national exposure on TV shows like Oprah, she became a symbol around the world for overcoming disabilities, especially to those in the military. She would visit soldiers in the hospital or returning home who had lost limbs in a battle to give them inspiration and love. Some people and animals are so happy and energetic that their joy for life is passed on to everyone around them. That was Faith, a constant source of happiness and positive energy to whomever was around her. She was so embraced by the military community through her frequent visits to disabled veterans. She was given the name Sergeant Faith by the soldiers and even made an honorary sergeant, which even included a ceremony which 4,000 troops attended. Unfortunately, in 2014, Faith passed away, peacefully surrounded by family, with her mom, Jude Stringfellow, by her side and a plate of cheese. To keep Faith's memory and message of hope alive, Jude wrote a book titled Faith Walks, a memoir of a beautiful life. And a beautiful life it was. Australian human-dog hybrid. In Australia, they love their dogs just as much as the rest of the world. Well, maybe more. Maybe a lot more. There is nothing worse than having to choose time between friends out and about or time with your furry friend having a relaxing day at home. An Australian woman named Patricia Piccini decided to intermix her two favorite groups of friends. Literally. Take a little bit of your furry friend and a little bit of your human friends and voila. I'm kidding. You may have seen this picture floating around the internet. Despite many misleading titles and photos, it is not a human-dog hybrid. Well, not exactly. It's actually a sculpture named Leather Landscape, depicting a very lifelike-looking human-dog hybrid. It's made of leather, silicone, acrylic, plywood, tinder, and to top it all off, literally, human hair. Superpowered Salamander. Amphibians are unique because they live in water and on land. Frogs and toads may come to mind, but the second largest group of amphibians is the salamander, who spend most of their time in water, not on lily pads. Salamanders come in all shapes and sizes, but the biggest one comes from China. And if their appearance isn't enough to creep you out, these might. The giant salamander is known to vocalize using barks, whining, hissing, and crying sounds. The scary part is that they resemble the cries of a human child. So much so that its name translates to infant fish in Chinese. Though scary, these salamanders have developed an amazing superpower. Because the Chinese salamanders spend so much time in the water, they have evolved to excrete a sticky gel-like substance all over their bodies to protect them while they are in the water. What makes the substance so special is its amazing healing abilities. Plus, it's so sticky that it can heal wounds better than most medical glues, sutures, and staples. Once applied, it promotes rapid healing and leaves less scarring. Just don't try to scrape it off the salamander yourself. Though the smell alone will probably keep you far, far away from this gentle giant. Mutant or de-evolved snake? Animal evolution is amazing, and when we see something we have never seen before, it's hard to tell if it's a step into the future or a step into the past. Snakes have been around for a long time, 100 million years before the well-known Tyrannosaurus rex. Those earlier snakes had already developed their special skulls that were very mobile and had teeth that curved backwards, helping them hold on to wiggly prey, just like them today. Unlike modern snakes, the prehistoric versions had 4 little legs. They were probably cute, but would you want to run into one of these prehistoric snakes today? Well, a woman in southwest China got that opportunity in 2009. Ms. Duan said she heard a strange scratching around, so she turned on the light and got out of bed. That's when she saw this little monster working its way along the wall using his claw. I will personally faint, but of joy. Adaptations to the environment, human pollution, and drastic climate changes have forced many species of animals to evolve, and in some cases to de-evolve. Nature is wise and very flexible, as we have discovered today. Although many of the animals have lost the capacity to live in the wild, it is our job to protect them, to keep them safe, and to preserve the habitat of those species that are still roaming freely. Thank you for watching this video. Go explore and have fun. And until next time, remember to click the bell icon after you subscribe so you can get instant notifications of all our new videos.